Minecraft's most popular map.
Still working.
What if I told you that Minecraft's most popular map, Skyblock, has never been beaten? You'd probably think I'm lying. After all, what are all these videos about? But hear me out. If you Google Skyblock Minecraft map, you have plenty of options to choose from. However, all these options are fake. You see, the original Skyblock map was so popular that it's been remade hundreds of times over the years, with each variation being slightly different. But what I'm interested in is the true original Skyblock. A version that has always been believed to be truly impossible to complete the game in. And that's for a very good reason, because the original Skyblock map was not only made before the Ender Dragon and End Dimension existed, but before Notch even finished making Minecraft version 1.0. You see, the original Skyblock was actually just a map and a set of rules created by the player Noob Crew way back in 2011. And the point of it was simple. Try to complete the list of 33 challenges without violating any of the rules. And this is why so many people have made new versions of Skyblock, because as new features get added to the game, these old rules completely prevent you from accessing the new content. And as the person who's spent years beating Minecraft for the most impossible scenarios, believe me when I say, this one is different. In fact, Skyblock is the version of Minecraft I grew up playing, and the idea of somehow finding a way to legitimately beat the game was something I've spent my entire childhood dreaming about. And it's what inspired me to create videos like beating Minecraft from the voids, super flat mode, and even from a single block. But even after finding a way to literally spawn entire chunks from thin air in other videos, nothing like that would work for Skyblock. I've spent years beating the most impossible challenges, and I still couldn't solve the one challenge that started it all. But now, I finally have an idea. Don't get me wrong though, I have no clue if this is actually gonna work, because this idea is still in the theoretical phase and we don't actually have a working machine yet. So far, I've spent months failing to convince the smartest redstoners in the world to help me design a machine that's so complicated to make that everyone claims it's too hard to even bother trying. And even if I do find someone smart enough to help me reverse engineer Minecraft's code so that we can build an actual
I Am Thalos knew he wasn't a bad trader. He was just being held back by his stupid classes. He says he started skipping an early class frequently to make back the loss, but this backfired and his professor ended up failing him out the course. Well, at least he probably made his losses back, right? Well, with 80% of his school loans gone for the semester, he finally realizes that it's probably gone forever. MoistAd9060 went on an initially lucky trading spree, but things quickly turned for the worse. MoistAd originally started with 15k, but unfortunately the early part of his journey didn't really get posted to Reddit, which is actually okay, because now we get to jump straight into the action. It was April and MoistAd's $15,000 portfolio was now worth a whopping $82,000. He 5x'd his money and was feeling on top of the world. Every single day, he bought $10,000 worth of 0 DTE spy puts, and he stuck to it. Spending $300,000 a month on 0 DTE spy calls is a surefire way to early retirement. And MoistAd was making his way there pretty quickly. On April 10th, his portfolio grew to just under 150k. He was up 50% in a day, and he wasn't ready to sell his contracts just yet. He held on to all of these overnight and hoped for the best. Particular Base 3390 said, "Road to bankruptcy. Hope you aren't too attached to your kidneys." And Soulful Academics pointed out that he needed to chill out. MoistAd replied with, "Yeah, I realized I was a bit exposed when I took a 122k loss yesterday. Got saved today. Starting Monday, I'll chill." Good thing today was Thursday though. He still had another day of not chilling tomorrow. iChan Sand seemingly unironically says, "Where can I start?" Anyway, MoistAd went to sleep and got ready for his last day of wild trading. He woke up in the red, which is obviously never pleasant, but was only down 2.5%, so it wasn't really the end of the world. He opened some new 0 DTE Tesla puts and 0 DTE QQQ puts and closed his TQQQ calls. He was now full bear mode. He even made the prediction that QQQ would drop 2% that day. Well, by lunchtime, the market was still alive and well, and MoistAd's portfolio was iffy at best. Down 22k for the day with only 12,000 in buying power left, he was hoping for a reversal quick. A few more hours went by and he was down another 16,000. QQQ finished the day up almost 2%, which is basically the opposite of what he predicted, and his portfolio was down $48,000. A lot of users talk trash, but Moistad told them to calm down. He's learning as he goes, and if he does say so himself,
what up,
his
man?
year-to-date return is pretty darn good.
Didn't
Well,
even
Monday rolled along, which meant it was time for him to chill out on all the ridiculous trading.
My bad.
Can he chill out? Let's find out. As of April
What up?
15th,
What kind of edits do I do?
153K
Not like
week.
TikTok
To
edits.
top
I
it
meant
all
like
off,
editing my
he
YouTube
wasn't gonna
videos.
cut any of his losses. He held on
Because I have
all
to.
of these
I'm
contracts
transferring a ton of files right now,
Moistad may have cut his portfolio by about 2/3 from the peak,
so I
but
can
he was
edit
still
my
very
Wolfenstein
motivated to
gameplay.
reach his $1 million goal. In fact,
Yeah.
he said that this would only delay the process by about 2 to 3 days. Except after that, Moistad stopped giving us updates. No more posts were made to Wall Street Bets until he suddenly came back 50 days later with some pretty abysmal news. Moistad's portfolio went from 15 to 353K, then straight back down to 16K in 2 weeks. Moistad said, "Never thought I'd be making this post, but here we are. Within 2 weeks, I went from $300,000 to PDT violated, margin called, and spiritually humbled. I'm not gonna lie, I was considering launching a hedge fund. Called my dad, called my rich uncle. They were shocked, surprisingly supportive while I was winning, and started to discuss hedge fund possibilities. Turns out I wasn't a quant. I'm a changed man, but also a scared one, but it's okay. I started my
So I do like I just put I don't do like TikTok edits. I was just editing like my YouTube videos in like DaVinci. So like my gameplay for like Wolfenstein, I'm transferring like a couple hundred gigs over right now. It's pretty fast. Got a pretty good hard drive now.
true bull journey yesterday. Give me a
So,
month or two.
yeah,
once I clear this
I'm just
PDT
chilling right now.
Scarlet letter, and I'll be back. Or not. This post was made on June 4th, so we'll see if Moistad ever gets his revenge and if his hedge fund comes to fruition. Shady Patel is a user who is willing to take out loans for what he thinks is an opportunity too good to pass up. On December 3rd, Shady Patel logged onto his American Express account and took out a whopping $20,000. He wasn't using this to pay bills or anything. No, he was using it for a much more important investment. Planet Labs had doubled in price over the past month, and he didn't want to miss out on once-in-a-lifetime gains. He booted up his portfolio and threw everything on the line, with 10.9K on shares and 9.3K on calls. As far as the shares go, he was a little bit safer, but the stock needed to jump quickly or else his calls would be dropping hard every day. As of June 14th, the stock has been extremely volatile, but actually is trading.
Oh. Okay.
Working model, I'm still gonna have to try and build this thing in the nether dimension, which by the way is completely inaccessible in the original version of Skyblock. Then construct some of the most complex redstone machines without making a single mistake. And to do all of that, I'll need to gather tens of thousands of materials in a map that was literally designed to give you nothing. So here's the plan. We're gonna load up the OG Skyblock map in version 1.12. We're not allowed to change versions or use backups. And
Chat, should I go get more ice cream?
in hardcore mode, meaning one mistake could cost us everything. Our goal is to first complete the 33 original Skyblock challenges, find a way to unlock the nether dimension, collect the tens of thousands of materials needed to build a machine that hasn't even been
Let's
fully
see. Once
designed
this
yet,
is transferred, I can
hopefully,
wipe all of that from
become
that
the
drive. How
first
much is on
person
this
to ever
drive?
truly beat
348,
Skyblock.
250
And
gigs.
after already
Okay.
spending years trying to figure this out,
What do I have on
I'm
this?
guessing that filming
CS?
this video alone
Everything
Guys, behind you in back.
Literally behind you in
He'll
back.
shoot you in the back. Oh no.
Be sane.
Go plant, bro. Go.
Gen V.
Go with the team, trust. Gonna go clear line. Go send it, send it. Send it, send it, send it. Do it fake.
Damn it. Bro, he was not saving, probably.
On me.
Oh, Connor, RP.
Case open.
Fucking shout on it.
Market share.
Also,
Views talking about. I got some space I can use. Shitty, I don't know why I'm scared of this game. I did crazy on this.
Swimming again.
We got this. Play small. Play. Okay, shut it, shut it, shut it.
Yeah.
Oh, shut the fuck down. Let me diff this guy in mid. He's on mid, let me diff him. Sit down. What am I talking about? Where's the other one? Oh, he's on there. Oh my god. I'm aim training, dude. Where's our... They're gonna expect you to be towards our spawn. Yeah. Yeah, yes, yeah. Come on, bro. Told you it. He already came through here. I don't know where he went. He might have went through the spawn, yep. Yes! Fuck yes! Sit the fuck down, shitters. Told you it'd work. Have faith, bitch. Yeah, he's... I don't know if these are riveting... If this is riveting games. Okay, you know, I'm gonna... Planning, bitch. The Media Molecule website. Electric. Oh yeah. Me and my homeboy chilling. We watch Eyes Wide Shut. Beautiful.
Everyone in need. They find a small kitten stuck in a tree and decide to help, but think going back to teach brother. The family created. The role on the payroll extremely dangerous and threatened to end. And the female had an enemy with Washington D.C. for a few days.
Wait, was it A-Can?
Trouble about be kind. He needs to be cruel first. Morality. But he took down an airline.
Sober at
He sent.
Oh my. Oh. Damn, I first bought this shit at like 0.5. That's wild. 0.8. Let me just hold QCY then. Yeah, I have some
200 people to their deaths, and even dropped the term of super. Newman was here on another mission. They'd been to stay and spend the night together, which he gladly accepts, but not before turning on the young American when someone came to visit them. It was Senator Prescott Sheldon and a letter from President Eisenhower. Sadly, he was still into American Vogel. Long after Kota Bob occasionally get involved. This quickly escalated, and more often than not, they had to take final action. Vote American used to organize events where they invited local children that were exposed to Compound V early on, and the boys wanted to use this opportunity not on and very quickly leading position. Vote was American, only to involved in recruiting of personnel and even coming up with the name of the team. Butcher claimed that in his country, whenever someone was in trouble, they called the boys to deal with it. Initially, their job was only to watch from a distance, monitor superhero activity, and occasionally get claimed that in his country, whenever someone was in trouble, they called the boys to deal with it. Initially, their job was only to watch from a distance, monitor superhero activity, and occasionally get involved. This quickly escalated, and more often than not, they had to take final action. Vote American used to organize events where they invited local children that were exposed to Compound V early on, and the boys wanted to use this opportunity to gather intel. Unfortunately, Vote was alerted of this and pulled the plug on the whole thing, ending nearly a dozen young soups. But Butcher didn't care. Just one less soup that they have to deal with.
And then let the
if he could end all of them at once, he would gladly do it. Huey knows the story about Butcher's wife, that she was by Homelander and got her pregnant, but he still doesn't know just how mental Homelander really is. Mallory tells him about a bunch of pictures where he dismembered and assaulted an entire family, but they still don't know who sent the pictures. Butcher's become extremely dangerous, and Mallory gave him wait. Where all he wants to do is hurt the people that he believes hurt him. The boys are Special Forces United who answer to no one, completely out of control. Just another CIA monster that always comes back to bite you on the ass. After Lamplighter ended his grand Mallory wanted to quit, but he still needed to tie up some loose ends. He had Butcher and Vogelbach still alive and working for him, because it was too dangerous to land back into the hands of God. Butcher was glad to do it, and the person responsible for creating Compound V. Nobody hates like he does, and God help the Homelander if he ever has him at his mercy.
Count on my laptop. Is that smurfing? If I wouldn't count my laptop.
He returns to the hotel where Annie was waiting for him. He tells her the truth, that he is part of a team working for the CIA, tasked to monitor the superhumans because the president is worried about Vote American. Huey returns to New York City and is reunited with him to come along because he's going on a mission. He shows him
it's an FPS game. It's an FPS. I'm about
last night, and her body was dumped a few blocks away from the place they are going. This place is a brothel for soups, run by a bloke who gets soups what they want. Anything
you guys Streamlabs.
And you know
okay.
It's very easy.
Jack to Jupiter.
I'm next to my job.
They think he might
I can
be
fucking
involved,
shit.
possibly.
It was like in shot. He
wants to set a few things straight. He wants to return to the boys, but he
need
doesn't
a
want to
rifle.
be
Get
just
the
a
fuck
regular
on.
member. He wants to be
Do you want to play
second in
Valorant?
command.
The Storm?
He doesn't like being in the dark.
This loot,
From
dude.
now on, he wants to be involved in every decision making and be kept up to date. The man running this place is Dr. Peculiar, who keeps a bunch of
2-hour
green painted
sessions.
monkeys around for protection. Someone sent an email to Vote last night, claiming that Jack from Jupiter visited the brothel last night, and Homelander thinks he might be the killer. Jack swears he is innocent. They all know he's into that kind of stuff, but he didn't end no one. They are about to start an important mission involving the White House.
Well,
And Homelander orders everyone to stay out of trouble and not attract unnecessary attention to them. Dr. Peculiar keeps tabs on everyone going in and out of this place. And what happened last night is bad for business, so he lets Butcher access the files. From the moment they walk in, everything is recorded. Who they meet, what they do, what everyone likes. It's all recorded.
Okay,
including
so
some
this is
pictures.
this guy
While
got
Butcher was busy looking over the journal of Jack from Jupiter, Huey steals a couple of pages from Queen Maeve's journal. Apparently, Jack paid for 3 transsexuals to pleasure him, but when he got there, he only asked for 3 of them to stay. One of them left early, and he stayed until 1 in the morning. It
This
couldn't
is
have
the
been
first
him,
one.
unless she waited for him
Can
outside.
you call Weevil
That's
so I can
unlikely.
trade TNSP,
Butcher
please? You
finds
seem to
this
have a
whole
market
thing
connection.
suspicious and thinks that something else is going
I
on,
guess
and that someone is
supposedly
playing
something
them.
happened cash
The
grabs
couple
if you just
returns
hold them.
back to New York
Cash out.
City, but Annie
A
wasn't
set
happy
take profit
that
in
they
a
were
set.
sleeping in separate beds.
So
She wants
so
to
every
know why
every
he
time it
doesn't
gets
just
thinned
hurt the
out,
boys
it's
if they are
faster.
so dangerous.
Every time it's
But
thicker,
he's
it's more
too deep
wide.
now to quit.
It takes longer
He
for
feels
things to
committed
happen.
and wants to see
When people
this
see these
through.
things
He
after
wants to keep
hours,
an
they
eye
don't
on
put
things.
of their
Maeve has a change of heart
let's see how much.
and
Let's
decides
see
to
how
remove all the bugs planted inside the Seven's headquarters, crippling the boys'
resulted
ability
in
to
a
spy on
restriction
them.
if I pull this
Huey
out,
wonders if
and I
Butcher
didn't
knew
realize I
about
could
him
have.
and Annie all along. Maybe
And I had
that's
no
why he
idea
had
back
him look
then
over the
you could
tapes
switch
while she
from
was
cash
blowing
account
the
to
entire
margin
tape.
account back
Annie
and
doesn't
forth.
trust him already.
So I didn't realize the
Claims
restriction
Seven
wouldn't have
were
been
even
too bad
worse.
on me
They are
because I
just
would
a
have been
bunch of
able to.
narcissistic pigs who only care about themselves.
I'm telling this guy. I
She
literally
wants
been
him to
telling this
have
guy
a
all
go at
morning
them,
to just buy
and
this.
possibly
I'm
take
called
them
the.
down.
I'm
After
making the
being
right
gone
call.
for 1 month, Huey returns to the boys' headquarters, and Frenchie welcomes him back. They took care of his hamster while he was
Called
gone, but
MNKD.
they've overfed him, and
for
he
this
is
guy.
now incredibly fat. Mother's Milk has been watching the surveillance tapes for the past couple of weeks, but nothing new. Homelander is the same sadistic son of a bitch as always. Butcher wants to look into the murder involving Jack from Jupiter, but even though he is a sicko, he thinks he might be innocent and someone might be trying to set him up. Back in his room, Huey looks over the files he stole from the superhero brothel and sees pictures of the legend doing Queen Maeve from behind. Even though he was a lot shorter, it didn't stop him from
What's
doing
a mid?
the
What's a
job,
mid?
but Huey couldn't
Cut
stop
one.
himself from laughing.
Cut it.
The boys return to the super brothel and interrogate 3 of the trannies that had fun with Jack that night. They wanted to asked Anastasia to leave, and one of them suggests it's because she
God,
and
dude,
Jack
this
like
flowed
each
right-
other, but not so much recently. Something must have happened. Dr. Peculiar notices she has syringe marks on her hand, which means she was doing drugs recently, and he doesn't allow that in his place. Butcher thinks she is lying to them and scares her into telling the truth. Huey goes back home and looks over more transcripts from the brothel depicting Maeve's activities every time she goes there. On one occasion, Homelander tricked her into having sex with Black Noir, and she had no clue until they were done. She accused Homelander of humiliating her and slapped him, but he threatened to end her if she ever does it again. Butcher visits the legend and claims the person who ended the tranny knew they would be involved and probably wants a head-on confrontation between them and the Seven. He also wants to know why Maeve pulled the bugs from the Seven headquarters, but the legend defends her actions, saying they've gotten too suspicious around there. Butcher doesn't care and wants the bugs put back in place, and if she refuses, he's gonna expose her to Vote Americans.
If it's
The
an
next
adult
day,
or a
someone leaked the video of Jack with 3 trannies to the media, and every news station in the city was reporting on this. He was angry and embarrassed at the same time, still claiming his innocence, swearing he didn't end the 4th tranny. He and the Deep get into a heated argument. Some racial slurs were thrown around, but Homelander gets in the way and stops him. He says Jack's career with the Seven is probably finished. The general public wants their heroes to be saints. They won't forgive him. They still think the boys are the ones responsible for leaking the videos, but it wasn't them. However, a confrontation was inevitable, and the Seven visit them on top of the building. Homelander knows just by listening to Butcher's heartbeats that the boys didn't release the videos and they are innocent. Jack refuses to accept the truth and gets angry, claiming he wants to end them as payback for humiliating him. Homelander forbids him from doing anything and he runs away like a coward, threatening them. The 2 groups agree this isn't the time or the place to start something, and want to leave it at that, after narrowly avoiding a confrontation that would have...
Okay,
Because I'll let you know. After a while,
By the way, you can actually use navigation on the screen if you're interested. And
push up like right now. Execute.
In case we call. Okay. Have a lot more risk. Been too bad. When it wasn't great, it was for sure. I like to watch them very well, and I mean, it all goes pretty well.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll still edit it. Let's get it. Just go ahead, bro. Just go ahead. Just run it. Wait. Let me flash out. Run my flash pops. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Go. Go.
Oh, sandbags.
Go. Jump up, operator. He's in truck. Oh yeah, one's in mid. Mid. Fuck off! You guys need to get on A now. Like, you guys are fucking piss me off right now.
Crouch!
They're near you, crouch!
Play some CSGO.
He's in the spawn. Guys. Get on A means like go on the site, bro. You could not just molly the forklift, molly that off, and then now we'll have free site push every time. All we have to do is molly that from now on. If he's gonna hold that, which he will, he's gonna hold that.
And then let the paramedics handle.
Sadly, the short and then her.
Summer of
Yeah,
1976.
wait.
Probably gonna take about... Okay, so we're trapped on this island with basically nothing. We have a tree, some dirt, this chest full of random items, and unlike most Skyblock maps you've seen, that's it. There's no other islands. So let's start by chopping down this tree. Make ourselves a crafting table, a pickaxe, and then let's use some of our ice blocks and some lava to make a quick and dirty cobblestone generator. And while this cobble generator is technically the first of our 33 goals to be completed, I don't really care about that right now. While it's true that some of these challenges are laughably easy, like getting a furnace or torches, some of them are going to take a bit more work. And considering how much insane stuff we need to do to try and jailbreak our way into the nether dimension and build the crazy machines I have planned, I think our first priority should be work from. And that means having plenty of materials like wood, stone, and food. So now that we have an infinite source of cobblestone,
Hold on,
let's
Tom.
think of making ourselves a farm. So, you know, we don't start with that part. Now the game does give us some melon and some pumpkin seeds, which I guess will serve as our food source for now. So let's make a hoe and start cutting. Oh, actually, hold on. What are the chances we can get some wheat seeds with only 3 bone meal? Can I get a seed? Oh, crud. Nothing? No, our last bone meal. Oh, seeds. Oh, it's flowers. Alright, so I'm gonna plant all the farming materials here. So we'll put the melons here, and we'll put the pumpkin over here, wheat there, and then we have our sugarcane, and I'm gonna ignore the rest of these materials. Okay, here though, we can make cobblestone pickaxe, which will make things go a little bit faster, and then I'm slowly gonna build out my island so we can expand our tree farming area. At this point, I think we can check off a few more easy tasks that will make our lives easier. Starting with a furnace. Use this string we were given to make a bed, and then turn a few logs and charcoal to give us torches. Now that we have infinite wood, stone, food, and a place to sleep, and torches to prevent mobs from spawning, that should be everything we need to start building our base and start speedrunning some of these tasks. At least, we will be ready to do that once I spend the next 3 hours of my life mining cobblestone. Just like this. Over and over again. So fun. Okay, tons of things have grown, so let's take all this down and then start working towards our next big goal. Okay, so now that we have a base set of resources, we can focus on the rest of the challenge. However, there's one caveat to that. I don't want to build my base in an area that I'm going to move later, so I want to make sure I find the permanent spot that we're going to build in. And even though there's literally nothing around, there's still one thing we care about when finding a base location, and that is mob spawns. Since we have so few ways to gather resources, killing mobs is going to be the only method we have to acquire items like redstone, iron, gold, and other things we need to build the giant machines we're planning on making, which means maximizing mob spawning is going to make our lives a whole lot easier. And the one thing that can help us do that is to build our base as low as possible, since the lower you go in the world, the faster mob spawn. So, let's get ready to start building our new base by completing one more easy goal, which we can do by smelting up some of this cobblestone, waiting about 4,000 years. And with all this stone, we can craft ourselves some stone bricks, which not only checks off one of those original Skyblock goals, but also means we can stop building like peasants. So now let's make our way down to the bottom of the world, and hopefully not accidentally fall to our death in the process. Okay, so I moved everything down to the bottom of the world where we have a new space to build. The only thing left that I need to be careful about is this grass, because if I break it now, I'll never be able to get any more. And without grass, we won't ever be able to get animals to spawn like cows and sheep. However, I do need some of this dirt for making farms. So let's try to remove as much of the dirt as we can, while still leaving a layer of grass so that the mobs can spawn. right, we have enough blocks to at least get the food farming started because I'm a little concerned I'm gonna start losing hunger bars soon. While we wait for the rest of the blocks, I think I want to get the initial farming set up, and I think for the most part we're gonna use seeds for food, since bread is definitely gonna be better than melons. Place that there. Nice. Okay, so now that we have some crops down and don't have to worry about starving to death, let's focus on completing some more of the goals. Starting with building ourselves a proper house to store all our materials, and by expanding the island so we have more places to build. Now, we do only have wood and stone to build with, but I refuse to live like a peasant, so we'll try to make something that looks nice. So, let's make a border with stone first. Alright, so that's the border. Now let's fill it in with some good old stone brick. Okay, we have to come up with a house design. And by that, I mean let's steal one off the internet. Mine will definitely look like that, for sure. I feel like this one's a little bit easier to build. I'm gonna build this one. Okay, alright chat, here it goes. Time to build our house. Oh, crud. So, I may have forgotten to light the house up. I'll just be waiting here until daytime. Okay, nobody shoot me. Nobody freaking shoot me. Okay, I think we're good. This is so terrifying. I touched W right now, and we did. We're gonna need a few pickaxes to get back down. Okay, as I was doing, I was attempting to build my mansion. Oh, I heard that. Nope. All right, building the mansion's taking a little... Nothing like that would work for Skyblock. I've spent years beating the most impossible challenges, and I still couldn't solve the one challenge that started it all. But now, I finally have an idea. Don't get me wrong, though. I have no clue if this is actually gonna work, because this idea is still in the theoretical phase, and we don't actually have a working machine yet. So far, I've spent months failing to convince the smartest redstoners in the world to help me design a machine that's so complicated to make that everyone claims it's too hard to even bother trying. And even if I do find someone smart enough to help me reverse engineer Minecraft's code so that we can build an actual working model, I'm still gonna have to try and build this thing in the nether dimension, which, by the way, is completely inaccessible in the original version of Skyblock. Then construct some of the most complex redstone machines without making a single mistake. And to do all of that, I'll need to gather tens of thousands of materials in a map that was literally designed to give you nothing. So, here's the plan. We're gonna load up the OG Skyblock map in version 1.12. We're not allowed to change versions or use backups. And we'll be doing the entire thing in hardcore mode, meaning one mistake could cost us everything. Our goal is to first complete the 33 original Skyblock challenges, find a way to unlock the nether dimension, collect the tens of thousands of materials needed to build the machine that hasn't even been fully designed yet, and then hopefully, become the first person to ever truly beat Skyblock. And after already spending years trying to figure this out, I'm guessing that filming this video alone is probably gonna take about... Okay, so we're trapped on this island with basically nothing. We have a tree, some dirt, this chest full of random items, and unlike most Skyblock maps you've seen, that's it. There's no other islands. So let's start by chopping down this tree. Make ourselves a crafting table, a pickaxe, and then let's use some of our ice blocks and some lava to make a quick and dirty cobblestone generator. And while this cobble generator is technically the first of our 33 goals to be completed, I don't really care about that right now. While it's true that some of these challenges are laughably easy, like getting a furnace or torches, some of them are going to take a bit more work. And considering how much insane stuff we need to do to try and jailbreak our way into the nether dimension and build the crazy machines I have planned, I think our first priority should be to establish a good foundation to work from. And that means having plenty of materials like wood, stone, and food. So now that we have an infinite source of cobblestone, let's work on making ourselves a farm so, you know, we don't starve to death in hardcore mode. Now the game does give us a melon and some pumpkin seeds, which I guess will serve as our food source for now. So let's make a hoe and start oh, actually, hold up. What are the chances we can get some wheat seeds with only 3 bone meal? Can I get a seed? Oh, crud. Nothing? No, our last bone meal. Oh, a seed. Let's go. And some flowers. All right, so I'm going to plant all the farming materials here. So we'll put the melons here, and we'll put the pumpkin over here, wheat there, And then we have our sugarcane, and I'm gonna ignore the rest of these materials. Okay, here though, we can make cobblestone pickaxe, which will make things go a little bit faster. And then I'm slowly gonna build out my island so we can expand our tree farming area. At this point, I think we can check off a few more easy tasks that will make our lives easier. Starting with a furnace. Use this string we were given to make a bed, and then turn a few logs into charcoal to give us torches. Now that we have infinite wood, stone, food, and a place to sleep, and torches to prevent mobs from spawning, that should be everything we need to start building our base and start speedrunning some of these tasks. At least, we will be ready to do that once I spend the next 3 hours of my life mining cobblestone. Just like this. Over and over again. So fun. Okay, tons of things have grown, so let's take all this down and then start working towards our next big goal. Okay, so now that we have a base set of resources, we can focus on the rest of the challenge. However, there's one caveat to that. I don't want to build my base in an area that I'm going to move later, so I want to make sure I find the permanent spot that we're going to build in. And even though there's literally nothing around, there's still one thing we care about when finding a base location, and that is mob spawns. Since we have so few ways to gather resources, killing mobs is going to be the only method we have to acquire items like redstone, iron, gold, and other things we need to build the giant machines we're planning on making, which means maximizing mob spawning is going to make our lives a whole lot easier. And the one thing that can help us do that is to build our base as low as possible, since the lower you go in the world,